Good morning, I'm meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. New this morning, we have a level 2 risk for severe storms from the Triangle area southward for today. The best chance of storms is going to start mid to late afternoon and continue into the evening. We do have a level 1 risk in our northern counties. So this is a WRAL Weather Alert day. The biggest threat from these storms is likely to be wind damage, but we could see a few isolated tornadoes. You may remember yesterday, we did have a number of tornado warnings in our southern counties. We did end up with some wind damage there, but no tornado damage. So that was definitely good news. Dual Doppler 5000 radar is quiet this morning, but there could be a few isolated showers that start to work their way in across the area this morning. But we're not likely to see storms until mid to late afternoon. That will continue into almost midnight or so. Damaging winds, large hail, isolated tornadoes would be the biggest threat. And again, that level 2 risk is going to be from the Triangle area southward, right along the I-40 corridor and southward for the most part. Of course, you can see that level 2 risk, the level 1 risk, making this a WRAL Weather Alert day. We have a warm front this morning that's down to the south, producing a few thunderstorms in South Carolina and then some light rain along it as well. And that may lift up into our area as we get through the morning. But it would be later this afternoon before we ended up with any severe threat. Our storm reports from yesterday, you can see the gray circles. Those are all straight line wind damage reports. And we did have a handful of those down in the Sandhills in the areas that we saw those tornado warnings yesterday evening. Dual Doppler 5000 radar, again, looking quiet this morning, but we may see a few sprinkles later on. We had heavy rain yesterday around the Triangle. Officially, it was at RDU, it was close to an inch of rain, but we saw some much higher totals in some other places. Fayetteville was closer to a half an inch right there in the city, but it was closer to 3+ inches in some places. South Hill ended up at a little over 2. Here's a look at some of those rainfall totals. About 2.5 in Hillsborough, Fuquay about 2 inches, Rocky Mount, Fort Bragg about 1.5 inches. So again, we do have that level 2 risk for severe storms this afternoon and evening. Make sure that you have your alerts turned on the WRAL app, and it'll let you know if there is any severe weather headed your way. Here's a look at the afternoon on Futurecast. We'll start there at lunchtime. A few isolated showers this morning, and starting around 3 or 4 o'clock, we have the potential for some cells to develop, and those will continue on through the evening, tapering off around midnight. Another thing that you may run into this morning is some patchy fog. We're starting to see some of that develop across the area. Temperatures will be in the 60s as you're heading out the door, and again, visibility in spots may be a little on the lower side. We will see a mild afternoon, almost 80 degrees in Raleigh, 77 in Durham, 83 for the high in Fayetteville.